Welcome to the Broadway.com show, your must-have guide for everything on the Great White Way and beyond. I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And I'm Beth Stevens. This week we catch up with the cast of The Play That Goes Wrong, celebrate Second Stage's new home on Broadway, and more.
And later, the Phantom of the Opera star Peter Jöback gives us a soaring performance of the music of the night. But first, let's get started with the news. What's the buzz, Beth?
Are you ready to see Santino Fontana in a dress? No, I'm not talking about the Tony nominee's upcoming Broadway turn in Tootsie. In addition to that exciting role, Fontana is taking on the part of drag diva Vita in the workshop of Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Vita was memorably played on screen by Patrick Swayze in Douglas Carter Beane's movie about three drag queens traveling cross-country who get stuck in a small town when their car breaks down. Beane is working on the musical stage adaptation with his husband, composer Louis Flynn. Okay, are you ready for the heavy hitters in this workshop? Tony winner Alice Ripley, current Hamilton star Daniel Breaker, and two favorite stage vets, Annie Golden and Ann Harada. Beane is directing the workshop, but there's no word yet on a timeline for the project.
Santino is really entering a drag phase.
Did you say drag race?
Phase. Lincoln Center Theater's revival of Falsettos, which played The Great White Way in fall 2016 and was named Broadway.com's #1 show of that year, will launch a national tour in winter 2019. James Lapine and William Finn's musical, which follows a charming, intelligent, and neurotic gay man named Marvin, who struggles to create a tight-knit family out of his core relationships, including his ex-wife, his new boyfriend, his adolescent son, the psychiatrist, and his neighbors, will play engagements during the 2018-19 touring season, including Los Angeles' Amundsen Theater and San Francisco's Golden Gate Theater, as well as stops in Dallas, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, and St. Paul, Minnesota. Additional cities and casting will be announced in the coming weeks.
The Queen of Disco is coming to Broadway, and a trio of stars will be playing her. The upcoming musical Summer, the Donna Summer musical, will feature Tony winner LaChanze, Ariana DeBose, and newcomer Storm Lever as Donna Summer at different points in her life. The three performers are reprising their roles as Diva Donna, Disco Donna, and Duckling Donna, respectively, which they played in the world premiere production at La Jolla Playhouse late last year. Look for Summer, which is directed by Des McAnuff and choreographed by Sergio Trujillo, to play Broadway's Lunt-Fontanne Theater beginning on March 28th, with opening night set for April 23rd.
Dave Thomas Brown, who made his Broadway debut in American Psycho and was also seen off-Broadway in The Legend of Georgia McBride and Heathers, will return to the main stem beginning February 20th in the Book of Mormon. Brown will step into the role of Elder Price, taking over for long-running Mormon mainstay Nick Rouleau, who will play his final performance on February 18th. And speaking of former Mormon missionaries, Tony winner Ben Platt will star in the upcoming Netflix series The Politician, a new comedy from Ryan Murphy that's already received a 2-season order. The series will follow Platt's character Peyton through his various political pursuits, and, of course, he'll have musical numbers in multiple episodes. In talks to co-star are Barbra Streisand and Gwyneth Paltrow, though Netflix has not yet made an official announcement.
Do you like this idea of mixing politicians and musical numbers?
If they're played by Ben Platt, sure.
So, they say the heart of rock and roll is still beating, and we believe them because there's a new musical in the works inspired by the songs of Huey Lewis and the News. The band achieved global fame in the 80s with their clean-cut image and straightforward all-American sound. The new musical is called Heart of Rock and Roll, and it will feature an original story by Jonathan Abrams and Tyler Mitchell and direction by Gordon Greenberg. Additional details for the production, including dates, venue, and casting, will be announced at a later time, but the score will, of course, include chart-topping songs like The Power of Love, Stuck With You, If This Is It, and more.
The Williamstown Theater Festival 2018 season was announced this week, and its star-studded lineup has already made our summer. First up is the world premiere of Douglas Carter Beane's The Closet, which will be helmed by Mark Brokaw and feature Matthew Broderick, Jessica Hecht, Brooks Ashmanskas, and Ann Harada. David Cromer will direct Mary Louise Parker in The Sound Inside, a world premiere play from Pulitzer Prize finalist Adam Rapp that follows an Ivy League professor who allies herself with a brilliant and mysterious student. The Great Comet's Rachel Chavkin will direct the world premiere of Lempicka, a new musical by Carson Kreitzer and Matt Gould that'll star Carmen Cusack as a free-spirited prostitute who guides an aristocrat through a life beyond opulence and wealth during the Russian Revolution. Seared, a new play by Teresa Rebeck, will star Stephen Pasquale as a genius chef who struggles with expanding his Brooklyn-based business. And Tavi Gevinson will star in a revival of Carson McCullers' The Member of the Wedding, directed by Lila Neugebauer. Additional casting and programming will be announced at a later date, so check Broadway.com for the full WTF lineup and more info.
When we come back, we learn 5 secrets about Come From Away, chat with the stars of Off-Broadway's At Home at the Zoo, and more.
This week on Broadway.com, Phantom of the Opera vlogger Ali Ewalt sings a song from Miss Saigon with co-star Peter Jöback. Hello Dolly fresh-faced Charlie Stemp poses for our camera, and more.
And all that jazz. Come on, babe, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. That jazz.
Hey guys. It's me, Jackie Burns from Wicked, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
Welcome back. Second Stage officially has a theatre on the Great White Way. Artistic director Carol Rothman, board members Tony Goldwyn, Lynn Nottage and many stage stars attended the official lighting ceremony at the Helen Hayes Theatre this past week. We talked to them about what turning the lights back on in the Hayes after years of hard work means for the theatre company and for the Broadway community.
It's really exciting. It's been a long, long time, and the lights finally going on at the Hayes Theatre for Second Stage is a tremendous moment for us. It's a real testament to all the people that have worked so hard to get here.
Well, I think it's incredible that Second Stage is opening up a Broadway theater, in particular because of the mandate, which is to produce plays by living playwrights, is to produce plays by women and by folks of color. And I think that, as we know on Broadway, it's really hard for women and for folks of color to find a home.
You will see as you look at the theater, it's a playhouse. It's a very, very good house for plays, and since we only do plays by living American writers, it's a perfect home for them. So I'm really excited about creating a home for writers who have things to say, women, writers of color, bringing in a kind of interesting audience, maybe a different audience. We're doing something that Broadway isn't doing consistently. So I think that it will be a really, really great thing for the entire Broadway community.
Tony-winning set designer David Rockwell served as the architect on the Hayes' redesign. He spoke about his artistic intentions for the refurbished Broadway house.
You know, I think that as a set designer, I approach telling stories in terms of how to include the audience, right? Without an audience, theater isn't alive. It's a collaboration, and here we got a chance to take this beautiful 1912 building that had been renovated many times and breathe new life into it so that it would work today for artists in terms of lighting positions, ADA accessibility. It would also work for the audience really feeling connected to the story.
David Rockwell did the most incredible renovation. I've seen so many plays here in this theater over the years, and to see you know, this classic old Broadway house brought back to life in a very modern but classic way, he really nailed it. So that's super exciting. And to know that now there is a home for playwrights on Broadway and not just off Broadway is really, it's important.
Audiences coming to the Helen Hayes will continue to find living theater is vital. I think it's very much about live theater, and the whole place has been set up to create a great experience.
The Play That Goes Wrong is the longest-running play currently on Broadway. The premise of the laugh-a-minute slapstick comedy is what happens when an amateur theater troupe puts on a murder mystery and everything goes terribly wrong. We caught up with the stars at the Lyceum Theater to find out why this play is anything but a disaster.
If the play went right, essentially this would be the most boring show on Broadway. It would be a murder mystery that's pretty predictable at times, with stock characters, and yeah, I don't know that it'd be something that people would be clamoring to see exactly.
Some people have seen it like numerous times, they've lost count, and I think there's a lot going on. You know, it's been well directed, the focus is in the right place, so you follow the storyline, but there's always more to appreciate the more times you come back.
You know, on any given night, we've got countless things going wrong, too. Thankfully going wrong in the right way, so everyone's safe and having fun.
Probably one thing every 30 seconds goes wrong, I would say. The show's about 2 hours, so I can't do math, but you could do the math for yourself, I would imagine.
Although we didn't nail down a number for how many things go wrong, we did ask the cast to list what goes haywire in the show.
props break, people forget their lines, people enter at the wrong time, the wrong characters enter.
Spit takes, there are slapsticks, literal slapsticks.
A lot of things fall from great heights, including people.
Set pieces that break, set pieces that fall apart on stage and fall on people.
There's a bit of a fire on stage. The set's not done on time. We can't find one of the cast members. Someone gets hurt and gets knocked out.
The play itself is just so well structured and it's just hilarious. But in the cast, you know, we're putting ourselves on the line every night to just make sure that people are having a good time.
40 years after Edward Albee wrote his quintessential one-act The Zoo Story, he created a companion piece for it called Home Life. The off-Broadway production of At Home at the Zoo brings them together as one evening of theater that explores both the love humans give and the cruelty they inflict on each other every single day. We headed to the Signature Theater to chat with stars Robert Sean Leonard, Katie Finneran, and Paul Sparks about the show.
Home Life and The Zoo Story are plays that Edward Albee wrote, I think 40 years apart. And he always felt like the character of Peter was left wanting, like we didn't know enough about him. So he wrote Home Life about Peter's life with his wife, and that is the first act of the show. So then you see he goes to the zoo, I've been to the zoo. Then his life sort of continues with Paul Sparks' character.
There's no way to say it that doesn't sound just horrifically boring, but it's not. It's actually quite thrilling and strange and beautiful and funny, and it's kind of verbal acrobatics. That's really a fun thing to try to pull off every night.
I really love this play. I thought it was such an important play, such a great play for where we are now. It's about empathy and trying to understand somebody that might be a little bit different than you, or, you know, I think all those things are available, and politically it's a good topic right now.
The cast shared what they hope audiences take away from the production.
I really would love for audiences to see themselves in one of these characters and identify with just sharing all of yourself.
My hope is that, you know, for our part, that we provide them a moment of being a little bit transported into, you know, the reality of like who these characters are.
I think that's it. Those moments when you actually realize how stunning the world is and what a miracle other people are, and maybe you go in and look at your kids sleeping when another night you wouldn't have before you go to sleep.
Come From Away tells the incredible true story of when the community of Gander, Newfoundland took in thousands of people whose flights had been diverted following the events of September the 11th. Both the musical's characters and the cast that portrays them are extremely welcoming. Cast member Sharon Wheatley recently welcomed us backstage at the Schoenwald Theatre to reveal 5 secrets about the heartwarming hit.
Hey you guys, hi! It's Sharon Wheatley from Come From Away. I play Diane and others, and I'm about to reveal 5 secrets backstage that you don't know about Come From Away. So come on in. Welcome to backstage here at Come From Away. The first secret that I want to show you is some of the press that we've gotten at Come From Away. And our stage manager, Gary Nicholson, has been busy with his lamination machine. And we actually have these press clippings all the way down the stairs. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Oh, there's Chad singing the national anthem at Yankee Stadium. We got 5th place in the Broadway show Bowling League. Last Easter on April 16th, I got married, and it was covered in the New York Times. And I like it because it's right outside my dressing room, so I get to see my wife and my kids. The next thing I'm gonna show you is something that happens because we don't have a way for the actors to get from one side of the stage to the other without going downstairs. And sometimes it's really fast. Like during Costume Party, Astrid, who plays Beulah, has to exit one side of the stage, and in that same song, she has to come back on. So the stage managers flip on this light right here, and then a stage manager runs with her backstage, and I'm gonna show you what the light does and where she goes. Pretend like I'm Astrid. Here's the light that I'm talking about. So when this is on, if you're in this zone, you have to clear out. It's here. Here it is again. And then once she's up the stairs, she just re-enters. Now we're on stage at the Schoenfeld, and I want to show you something super cool. On this side, it looks like a Newfoundland bar. It just looks like a piano and a band. So here we are on the other side. Look, it's a keyboard. There's a computer set up over here. They all wear in-ear headphones so that they can hear each other and so that the conductor can talk to them. And then there's a little monitor here and a camera right here so that the conductor can conduct. So this is everything that's going on behind what seems like one piano. So the next thing that I want to show you is all the water bottles that we have backstage, which doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you've seen the show, you know we don't really leave the stage at all. So we run off, have a drink, and run back on. Here we are on stage for Come From Away, and I want to show you the very last thing, which is how is it that we move those chairs around so quickly? Well, each chair is numbered and it's labeled on the floor with a little piece of tape that has the chair number on it and a little arrow for which way it goes. So that if we're getting like into the first plane, I know to just go like this. Done. Set. Wait, it wasn't very good. There. Hey you guys, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Schoenfeld Theater and seeing all those secrets. Don't tell anybody, and by that I mean tell everybody. And come see us at the Schoenfeld Theater for Come From Away, okay? Thanks, bye.
When we return, the Phantom of the Opera's Peter Jöback offers an incredible performance of the music of the night.
And all that jazz. Come on, babe, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. That jazz.
We are back with Peter Jöback, Broadway's Phantom of the Opera. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I saw you a few weeks ago. It was a big night in your life, and in the life of Broadway, and in the life of Phantom and Angela and everybody, the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I had a great night.
So now that it's happened, I'm sure there was a lot of anxiety building up to it.
Yeah.
How does it feel that you got through that, and how was that night for you?
I mean, yeah, it was a big night for me. I mean, being from Sweden and chosen to do it at the 30th anniversary was really big for me. And also to perform for Andrew and Hal again, and Cameron was there, and all the other great people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was good, but I was prepared, and I felt proud afterwards, and the party was great.
You should. You're a fantastic Phantom.
Thank you.
What I love about this show is that I've seen so many really talented actors play the Phantom, and you really do have a lot of ability to bring yourself to him. You know, it's a character who's covered for most of the show, but you really are able to see the personality. There's a lot of physicality to it. Obviously, the singing, amazing singing on your part. What do you think is the key to the Phantom, or your Phantom, or?
I just, you know, when I was asked to audition for it in 2012, when the 25th anniversary happened in London, I was a bit surprised that they asked me to do Phantom, because I've just done the first juvenile leads and stuff in London before, so I thought they were going to ask me to do Raoul, and I felt, no, I don't want to do another of those. And then they said, no, we want to try you for Phantom, and that was not a role that I thought would be mine ever, you know. And then I went over to see it, and I just, it was something with the character that touched me in a different way the time I saw it then, because I just recently had been to rehab and, you know, worked on my childhood. So there were so much things that connected to me. Like, I was abused when I was a kid, and so what I felt was like, if I can do this role and focus on the abused child and what happens to someone who are abused, and you know, when they grow up, the self-centeredness, trying to survive, and also make him very vulnerable, because underneath everything, he's still a child. You know, that's what he is.
Wow, I actually didn't realize any of that. That really
so that
brings a lot to it.
And then I played it for 6 months, and then Cameron asked me to stay, and I said, there was enough for me in London, and then, but I said, if you could consider having me somewhere else, I would say yes. And he said, where? And I said, you know, my childhood dream is to be on Broadway. And he called me the day after and said, "Can you go next year?"
Wow. Wow.
So,
and you're back through March 31st. So Phantom is in beautiful shape at the Majestic Theater. It's been there for 30 years. What is it like walking into, and I love the stage door at the Majestic too, it's that great long, very classic Broadway experience. What is it like every night?
With all the garbage.
Yeah, walking by the garbage to go do your show. That's classic Broadway experience. What is it like every night when you walk into that stage door and you're getting ready to do the show?
No, when I was 10, my first job was Sound of Music, and I met this Swedish actor called Ulla Sallet, who was one of the first Swedish people on Broadway. And she told me about this place, magic place called Broadway in New York, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do it. If she can do it, I can do it. So just walking into the theater the first time was like, my God, I made it, you know, I'm here. And it was possible for a Swedish person to make it here, and you know, because of dedication, working hard. And I'm so impressed with all the people here. I'm so humble, you know, people work so hard here, and it's so inspiring. And I've grown so much working here, and just coming back, you know, being asked to come back doing this, it's been amazing.
So you're going to treat us with a song.
Ah, yeah, well.
A classic song.
Yeah.
I think we know this song. This is maybe the most famous song in Broadway history. I mean, this might be the song.
Cool.
It's called The Music of the Night.
Yes.
Do you know it? You got it all down?
I think so. I'll try.
Okay, well, let's get a peek of your Phantom.
Yeah.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation. Darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of a day. Turn your thoughts away from cold, unfeeling light. And listen to the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all the thoughts of the world you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Only then can you belong to me. Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, trust me, savor each sensation. Let the dream begin, let your darkest side give in to the power of the music that I write. The power of the music of the night. Alone can make my song take flight. Help me make the music of the
When we come back, we head to rehearsal with Ramin Karimloo, Raul Esparza, Karen Olivo and the stars of Chess ahead of their Kennedy Center bow.
and all that jazz. Come on, babe, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz.
Hi, I'm Anna Klumsky.
And I'm Adam Pally.
And you're watching the Broadway.com show.
Thank you for watching the Broadway.com show.
We leave you with a fabulous look at Ramin Karimloo, Raul Esparza, Karen Olivo, and the stars of the Kennedy Center's Chess in the rehearsal room.
See you next week.